The snow wasn't falling. Something was burying the town on purpose. It started like any other winter night. Quiet, white, and so cold the air stung when you breathed. The kind of cold that makes streetlights look tired, like they don't want to stay awake. I was driving home from the late shift when the storm thickened so fast it felt unreal. One minute I could see the road. The next, I was following two pale tire tracks, like they were the only thing tethering me to the world. The radio hissed, coughed out a weather alert, then went dead. Then I saw the footprints. They crossed the highway in a neat line, bare feet, pressed deep into the fresh snow as if whoever made them was heavy, or the snow was eager to swallow them. There were no drag marks, no shuffling, just clean, deliberate steps leading into the trees. I should have kept driving, but the storm forced my hand. A mile later, my car fishtailed on black ice and slid into a ditch with a dull, final thud. The engine died. The headlights stayed on, shining into a wall of white. I tried the ignition. Nothing. That was when something knocked on my rear window. Not a crash, just 3 slow taps. Tap, tap, tap. I froze, watching my breath fog the glass. The back seat was empty. The snow outside twisted in the headlights like a living thing. The tapping came again, closer, as if whatever it was had moved from the window to the trunk. Tap, tap, tap. I grabbed my phone. No signal. Of course, the storm had eaten the world. Then my radio, dead moments ago, clicked on by itself. A voice slid through the static, soft and wrong, like someone whispering from inside a freezer. "Don't look behind you." My throat tightened. "Hello," I croaked, static. Then, "It learns your face." I laughed once, sharp and panicked, because my brain needed something to do besides fall apart. "Who is this?" The radio answered with my own voice. "Who is this?" My skin went cold under my coat. I didn't speak. The radio didn't either, but the silence felt crowded, as if the storm itself was listening. Something scraped along the side of my car, slow, like a fingernail testing paint. I leaned forward, hands shaking, and turned the dome light on. And in the rearview mirror, I saw movement in the back seat. Not a person. A shape, tall and thin, like a man stretched too far, folded the wrong way to fit. Its skin was the color of snow left too long beside a road. Gray, filthy, bruised. Its face was smooth at first, featureless, until the surface began to ripple, as if it were remembering what a face should be. A nose rose like a blister. A mouth cracked open. Eyes sank into place, dark and wet. It was building me. I whipped around. The back seat was empty, but the seatbelt on the passenger side was slowly pulling itself out. Click, 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 like an invisible hand was buckling in. The radio whispered again, "If it sits with you, it rides with you." My hands fumbled for the door lock. I hit the button. All 4 locks snapped down. From somewhere above, the car roof creaked, metal bowing under sudden weight. Snow slid off the windshield in a heavy sheet, and in the gap I saw a shadow crouched on the hood, blocking the weak glow of my headlights. It lowered its head toward the glass as if trying to see inside, and then its mouth opened, too wide, too patient, and fog rolled from it in a long exhale, frosting the windshield in a spreading flower of ice. A message appeared in the frost, as if written by a fingertip from the outside. "Let me in where it's warm." My mind ran through every horror movie rule I'd ever mocked. Don't open the door, don't go outside, don't panic. But then I heard it. Beneath the wind, beneath the creak of ice in the trees. Footsteps, bare feet, heavy, coming from the road behind me. One set, then another, like the storm was delivering company. I squeezed my eyes shut and forced myself to breathe. There had to be a plan. I could run. I could wait. I could... The radio clicked again, and this time the voice was clear, familiar, and sweet with relief. My mother's voice. "Baby, are you there? I've been calling. Open the door, I'm freezing." My blood turned to slush. My mother lived 3 states away, and even if she didn't, no one could have found me in this whiteout. The voice continued closer now, as if it had leaned right up to the microphone. "Honey, please. I'm right outside your car. I can see you. Just unlock it." I stared at the locks. The tapping returned, no longer polite. It moved around the car in quick little bursts, as if multiple hands were testing every window at once. Tap, 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 tap. The roof dented inward slightly, a shallow bowl forming above my head, and then from the back seat, a breath touched my ear. Warm, human, wrong. A voice, my own voice, whispered from inches away. "You looked." The dome light flickered and died. In the darkness, the passenger seatbelt clicked into its latch all by itself. And the snow didn't make the night quiet. It made sure no one heard you scream. The first thing I noticed was how fast the world disappeared. 1 minute, the road was there, 2 lanes, reflective markers, familiar bends, and the next it was just white, like someone had erased everything beyond my headlights. Snow came down in thick, slow flakes that looked gentle until you realized they were stacking up like a wall. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel and leaned closer to the windshield, as if that could force the storm to show me more. The radio crackled with a weather warning, then dissolved into static. I tapped it, turned the knob, tried another station. Nothing but hiss. That's when I saw the footprints. Bare footprints crossing the road from left to right. They were too clear, each toe pressed into the snow like a stamp. No boots, no socks, no drag. Just calm, steady steps marching into the black pines. I slowed without thinking. My first stupid thought was someone needs help. My second, sharper thought was nobody walks barefoot in this. I should have driven on, but the storm had other plans. The back tires hit a patch of ice, and the car slid like it had been shoved. I corrected, overcorrected, and the world spun into a blur of headlights and snow. Then came the heavy final jolt of the ditch. The engine coughed once and died. For a second, I just sat there, stunned, listening to the ticking of cooling metal and my own breath. The windshield wipers dragged themselves across the glass with a tired squeal, smearing snow into a wet, milky film. I tried the ignition again. Click, click, click. Nothing. My phone showed 1 weak bar that vanished the moment I unlocked it. No service. Of course. Outside, the storm pressed in so hard it felt personal, like it wanted me to stay right where I was. I reached for the door handle, meaning to step out and look for damage. 3 taps landed on the driver's window. Tap, tap, tap. I froze mid-reach. The taps weren't loud, they weren't frantic. They were patient, like someone knocking on an office door. I stared into the swirling white outside the glass. "Hello?" I called, instantly hating how small my voice sounded. No answer. I leaned forward, trying to see past the snow. The taps came again. Same rhythm, same calm insistence. Tap, tap, tap. My throat tightened. I hit the lock button. All the doors thunk shut. The tapping stopped. For a few seconds there was only wind and the slow scrape of wipers. Then a new sound, a long, delicate drag along the side of the car, like fingernails testing the paint. I whispered, "Nope," like saying it out loud could make it less real. The radio clicked on. Not music, not a station, just a low, clean silence, as if someone had picked up a phone on the other end. Then a voice slid through the speaker, soft as breath. "Don't open the door." My blood ran cold. "Who is this?" The radio hissed, then the same voice, clearer. "It hears your kindness." A laugh tried to escape me, but it broke into something closer to a cough. "What does that even mean?" Static. Then, "If you invite it, it doesn't leave." I stared at the dark dashboard like it might explain itself. How are you?" The radio cut out, and immediately something shifted on the roof. Not a scrape this time, a weight. The car's frame gave a tiny protesting creak, and snow slid off the windshield in a heavy sheet. I stared up, heart hammering, waiting for the roof to dent inward. Nothing did, but I felt it. Something crouched above me, balanced like an animal. I forced myself to breathe, eyes flicking between the windows. The storm made everything outside look smeared and distant, like the world was underwater. Then the passenger seatbelt began to move. It wasn't dramatic, no sudden whip, no violent yank. It slowly slid out of its slot. Click, 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 as if an invisible passenger were pulling it across their chest. I stared, unable to look away, until the belt reached full length and stopped, stretched diagonally in the air. Then, with careful precision, the buckle slid down toward the latch. I lunged and grabbed it. The belt was cold, so cold it burned. I yanked it back, fighting stiff resistance, like pulling tape from frozen metal. Outside, the roof creaked again. Something shifted its weight, settling. Then a face appeared at the edge of the windshield, upside down. Not pressed to the glass like a normal person would be. Just there, framed by swirling snow, as if the storm held it in place. Its skin looked like packed snow left too long. Gray, grainy, wrong. Its eyes were dark hollows that didn't reflect light. It stared at me with the stillness of something that didn't blink because it didn't need to. I couldn't move. A thin line opened where its mouth should have been, and my mother's voice came out. "Sweetheart, are you in there? Open up, I'm freezing." My stomach dropped so hard it felt like falling. My